ensemble, it's my privilege and honor to present our Essentially Ellington guest clinicians, Vincent Gardner.
Oh man, thank you,
for
man.
coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Little later, sound like Perdido. Well, now, yeah, we'll show it on. Yeah, we'll show it at the end. I gotta see it though. It's called the Euro Sax Guy. That's his name. Epic Sax Guy. All right, I'll check it out. Oh, I'm glad I haven't seen that one. I should show you this video of Dave Coz doing this solo sax thing. That's terrible. It's got like complete choreography and everything. Like the whole thing is choreographed. Cheesy. All right, Chinoiserie? Yeah. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Boom, bing.
Too slow, it plods, and too fast, and it's...
Yeah, right. Right.
I'll let you do it.
Let me count it. 1, 2, 2, Good. You know, I want to hear the rhythm section play that chorus, the chorus where they have the two hits, one bop, bop, ba. One bop, bop, bop. So play that 10-bar phrase twice, okay? One, 2, No, I mean, play the whole phrase. No, you play it on the last 2 bars. Play the whole, it's like a 10-bar phrase, right? Yeah, play the whole 10 bars, wherever that is. What letter is that?
L.
L?
Is that after everyone comes back in, after it's just drum and horn?
No, that's way before that.
Okay, right.
Doing the tenor solo. With a brass half, one, at the end of the phrase. All right, right there. 1, 2, All right, one more time. You messing with your music. I know it kind of fell all over. All right, one more time. 1, 2, Gotta make that with them. Make that. All right, so now you got to know what that phrase is. It's very important to mark because we all used to 8-bar phrases and everything, and now we have this 10-bar phrase. So it's really important that you give that to them. Also, it's starting to get ahead because of this right here. This part right here is starting to get ahead because when we get to that, we're not laying in the time enough because of that bop, bop, ba, boom, bop, bop, bop.
We did on the other song, we're probably anticipating it and rushing forward the individual beats instead of swinging it through.
Yeah, you know, think of those quarter notes as longer. 1, bop, bop, ba. 1, bop, bop. The whole word like B-A-A-A-P. Bop, bop, ba. Not bop, B-O-P, but B-A-A-A-A-P. Sound like an insurance agency or something. 1, bop, bop, ba. Ding, kadoom, kadoom. Bop, bop, ba. But all the all that vowel sound in there. All right. 1, bop, bop, ba. King, doom, kadoom, kadoom, bop, bop, ba. You know, the way that you think of the word will help. Don't think of it as like bop, bop, ba. Okay? Bop, bop, ba. Okay? It's fat, right. Okay, one more time. Let's play that phrase again. Let's lay those 2 quarter notes back. 1, 2, What's the second one? All right. Let's play it again. This time, let's add the trumpets in, or the brass in. Just the brass have that, right? Okay. Huh? All right. Anybody who's in on those 2 hits, play it with them. 1, 2. Lay them back a little more. Bring them back. Cut out. Boom, boom. All right, now this time, I want you to set them up. I want you to go, cut out, boom, 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 ting, king, cut out, boom, 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 okay? And I want you to listen to kadap before you hit your first one. Kadap, boom, 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 ting, ting, boom, boom, boom. Set them up this time, okay? 1, 2, That's better. Do it again. That's better. Keep it back. Listen to the drums. Listen to the drums. All right, second one. We missed the second one. You got to set up both of them. All right. And the simpler the better in this one right here, the simpler the setup, the better in this. Because it's a background, you know, we don't want to overshadow the tenor. So the simpler the better in this one. One more time. Gadap, boom, boom. Put everything in the groove. You're in the groove right when we're doing this, But as soon as we get to the field, it starts to go a little forward. Ding, 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 ka-da, boom, boom, ka-boom, ding, 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 ka-da, boom, 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 okay? Bop, bop, ba. 1, 2, Good. Do that again. All right, so it's better. The first one was better than the second one, but you're getting the idea. You can't fall back into that habit. You have a habit of doing it. You just gotta always think of it. You know, in any rhythm like this, always think about it. But good, let's get in there. All right, let's take it from the very top. Let me hear right where the saxophone, where the two saxophones start the melody. And just do it from the top so we can set the whole thing up. 1, 2, Coming this time. 4, 3, So now we gotta make sure we're phrasing this together. She's laying this back a lot more, which is cool, but it's got to be together. Okay, she's do do dee do dee dee dee. The notes are real fat, and yours are shorter than hers. So let's get together on this phrasing. Okay, just you two. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, all right, that's better. Just make sure you don't fall back into remember your notes, like you naturally want to play notes shorter than she does. And that's something that you have to know when you're playing with people, your natural tendencies and the other person's natural tendencies. Sometimes it's okay to have your natural tendencies because that makes your own personal approach to your horn be what it is. But you have to know when to do those and when to mesh them with somebody else. You conform to other people when you're playing underneath somebody else is playing lead. So whatever, you have to learn what you do and you have to learn what they do. And when they're playing lead, you have to do what they do. When you're playing a solo, you do whatever you want. But when you're playing with somebody, you always have to figure out what they do as the leader of the passage, whatever you're playing. All right, one more time. Let's do it and then go on to all the saxes playing. 1, 2, Okay, so now here's the only other thing about it is that it needs more character. You know, this is supposed to evoke some faraway place that they don't have in Massachusetts, like with camels and stuff, you know. Like it's supposed to be like of something that you've never seen before. When Duke wrote this was like nothing he had ever written before. He'd never written anything with like these chordal harmony and this type of thing and using like the sound of the John Coltrane quartet as like a basis for it, modal kind of stuff. He hadn't written anything like that ever. Nobody even thought he could write stuff like that. So when you play this, it's got to sound like it's something completely different than anything that you've ever seen or heard, okay? So the two parts that are to this melody have to have some contrast to them. So the part that's the part that goes like that is what it is. But when you get to that part, it's gotta wail a lot more. So if you're playing the melody, the first part is kind of a lot cooler. It's like jazz, but the other part is not like jazz as you know it. Weedy doody doo ba da. It's got to be like just Arabian music or something from somewhere else. So when you get to that part of it, wail. Put a lot of vibrato, put a lot of personality into that one part of it in contrast to the other part of it. Okay, and that goes for the same thing when the brass have it later on.
Quick question, Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously on symphony and riffs and rocks in my bedroom, using just acoustic bass, but on this, you think it would be better if we plugged in for this, since it's like a different era of Duke, or should we leave it all, or what's?
No, I don't think you have to be, because there was like the reason that he had amplified bass is because the bass players couldn't play with that sound anymore. That was a flaw on their part. Instead of being able to play, had Jimmy Blanton been there would have been no amp. Yeah. So it's just if.
There's an amp on the recording either. I mean, it's 57. It's like.
No, this isn't 57. This is later. This is like 71.
Really?
Chinoiserie, the Far East Suite. Maybe 57. Oh no, it's 71 or 67. It's like late 60s. Yeah, it wasn't 71. That's New Orleans Suite. But it's later than that though. But they could.
75. That was like when amps became a big thing.
Well, no, they had amps before that. They used amps before that.
I don't think they used it on the.
I mean, Ron Carter was using the amp in the late 60s.
Yeah, that's Ron Carter. I'm not him.
No, nor should you be. But I don't, I don't suggest you use the amp unless you need it. Like unless you're not getting the sound that you want out of it, and you need it to be more present. I feel it fine without the amp. I mean, it sounds good to me without the amp. But if you get there and the hall is funny to you, or it's just you're not vibing with the sound or whatever, and you need it, then use it. It'll be there. But I think it sounds better. I think jazz period sounds better with as little amplification as possible. So, So melody, one more time. Saxophones. Just wail. When it gets to the part where you're wailing, wail on it. Okay? That's the saxophones love to do that anyway. That's their thing. Like when they start to do this. That tenor thing. You see Joe Henderson? You ever seen those videos of him where he's that's that saxophone stuff. Y'all do that. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, Now, did you hear what he did? Now, he did something just off of whim. I said wail, and he went woody, and it sounded great, So now, when you're rehearsing it, you hear stuff like that, just say one time, run through it and see, man, maybe all of us should try that. You might not like the way it sounds. It also sounds good sometimes in an instance like that when one person does it and the rest of you don't. That can sound good too because it makes it a little wilder sounding. Like there's one element of this that's not like the other for a second. And then it's still together. You're still phrasing together. The other thing is that you all are laying back really a lot. Now, I like the layback. I love stuff that lays back. But now it's starting to just get a little too much. So always, let's have the drums this time with them. But still, don't not lay back. Just not so much. But do your thing on it. I love the way that y'all are doing it. But just don't drag it down because that the tempo goes down, okay? Because the thing about like the layback is that the rhythm section will start to follow you. The layback should go against the rhythm section. But if you do it too much and too deliberately, they'll start to follow you, and then the thing starts to drag down. So lay it back, but keep it up. 1, 2, there. Now I know that's like the hardest part of the thing to play. That especially that high, whatever was that? What's that? B? The high G. Okay, that's a crazy note on saxophone. But you've got to cut that note off together. Doo-dee. Whenever you're gonna cut it off, it has to be together. I know it's high and it's crazy, but it has to be high, crazy, and together. So where you gonna cut it off?
4.
On 4? Okay, so play it all the way through to 4. Doo-dee. And let it, since it's crazy, let it sound crazy. You know, let it be what it is. Doo-dee, boop-biddy-biddy-dop. And make sure that line, bop-biddy-biddy-dop, accent the first note of it. Booty, bop-booty-doo-dee-dop. Okay? And make sure you're swinging on the way down. Okay, let's take it, what's before that? I'm gonna go into that. Can we take it 4 before that? What's that, F? 4 before F?
Yeah.
All right, 4 before F. 1, 2, Okay, so now I can tell now you got a vibe on that now. Like the way that you're playing it now, it's got a good vibe to it. I want you to build the wildness of that section right there that leads into that. Where did we just stop?
Right here.
Okay, so the part that builds up into it, all of this at G. The whole thing you had before G, da 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 da, boo doo dee dee da. First of all, that line you can play a little softer because it's unison. You know, and it's just got this like nice soulful kind of cool feeling to it. Shoo-doo-ee-dee-da, shoo-doo-lee-dee. And the reason you play that softer is so you can build up into this line. Okay, so start that whole thing softer. When the brass come in, they take over kind of the emphasis of that section. But then when you get do-doo-dee-dee-da, shee-dee-da, shoo-boo-dee-da-da, this line 2 before, 6 before H should build up. Boo-dee-doo-doo-doo. Boo-dee, boo-doo-doo-dee-da. Oh, you playing all those long? Boo-dee-dee-dee-da-da-da. That how you playing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Boo-dee-doo-doo-dee, boo-dee-dee-da-da-da-bee, shoo-doo-dee, shoo-doo-boo-doo-loo-boo-ee-boo-doo, billy-lee. And accent the top note of that last phrase, billy-a-la. Okay? But it has to build up into something really crazy. Shoo-dee-doo-doo-doo-dee-dee, shoo-doo-dee, shoo-doo-boo-doo-loo-boo-dee-boo-doo, billy-la. Okay? Yeah, and then you get to that. Then that's the craziest thing. Shoo-bee-dee-dee, wee-lee-dee, hoo-wee-dee. Put like something really, Middle Eastern sounding on it. Shoo-bee-dee-dee, shoo-lee-dee, hoo-bee-dee-dee, hoo-wee, shoo-bee-dee-dee. Like the snake charmer or something, Like it should have that thing to it. Okay? Let's take it the same place. That was what, 4 before F? Oh, no. What were we doing? Huh? Let's take it right. Let's do 4 before F and get into it. So 4 bars before F. Here we go. 4 before F. 1, 2. Still pull it back, brass. Don't rush. Just pull it back. Pull it back a little bit. stop you before we go on. So there's one phrase that we're not making the bringing out the poetry of it. There's one. Where's the phrase where y'all have the hit? Brass have that hit on 4, and the saxophones have the stuff right before it.
Bar before P.
A bar before P. O. O.
Eighth measure.
You said bar before P? Right, okay. That's one phrase. That's the point is that's one big phrase. Okay, one. Okay, let's take it to letter O. Everybody except the saxophones. I mean, everybody except the solo, saxophone solo. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so you see, you're answering them. You have to know that that's an answer to the saxophones. Okay, they have this 8-bar phrase, and you all are answering them. So make sure that you, first of all, know that you're going to play it a certain way if you know that you're like the period at the end of that sentence. Okay. Second of all, saxophones. Let's get the cutoffs on a couple of those aren't really together. Let's do that again. Letter O. Let's make sure we're really together. 1, 2. Okay, now don't rush that. Don't rush the 4 either. One more time. 1, 4, 2 bars before P. 1, 2, Yeah. Okay, good. You can make that note a little fatter too. You know, so they'll know because their note is a lot fatter than that. So it'd be nice to have kind of the same length between the two. All right, let's do that same thing. Let's do it from there again and keep going with the solo. Letter O. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now, I didn't know the count. Am I supposed to count you in at the end, or is it open, or is it?
No, they know exactly what they
Oh, certain number of bars. It's all set.
depending on me, and they do like to be shouldn't be depending on me
Huh?
anymore.
You know we should do. We just would like to be connected.
You would like to be conducted, but you know what to do, so you don't really need to conduct
do.
it.
Okay, I'm just there just to reinforce what you're already doing. Okay,
Yeah, it's just true.
just do it. on everything. Just if you're counting on me for everything, and then I happen to miss a cue, like I've been known to do. I think the last cue I missed was in 1986, but just use me as a reinforcement, but not me as a crutch. Okay?
I was there.
So we're still, he said he was there. So look, we gotta remember, when we come back in after all of that, after the dropout of tenor, after the drum solo, after all of that stuff, when we come back in, we can't act like we're happy to end the tune. You know, we can't lose the quality of that melody because it's the last time they're gonna hear it. So we still have to play, and still, but this time as a full band, for the only time actually in the chart that we're all playing the melody together. So it still it should be that much more powerful because everybody's playing it. Okay, but so we have to phrase it together. I saw you were breathing kind of in the middle of the phrases, like da 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 da. You know, so we all have to breathe together. We all have to put the same vibrato and intent on the phrase to make it sound like what it is. All right, so can we take it right on the vamp and do it from the vamp out? So let's take it on the tenor solo right at V. And then you drop out, and then we do the drum solo. Let's make sure we keep good time doing the drum solo. I think it kind of switched forward one this time, okay? 1, 2. That was a good phrase you started with. That was a good one you started with. Make the last note fatter too. Make the last note a little longer. Bop, bibbidi bop. Okay, good, nice on the end of it. Good. Now that time you all didn't rush that at all. And when the full band just played it just now, it did not rush at all. It was, So what was different in your mind? Like what happened? Because you just got to just do that all the time. Because you can do it. You just proved it. You can do it. Because it's there, man. When it's there, it sounds like everybody's of one rhythmic mind. And when the band sounds like that, that's the most swinging, most powerful thing in the world. So we just got to always think about it. And if any one person hears somebody else that's kind of getting ahead, tell them. Just lay back in it. Just make sure you communicate a lot with each other about that. Because y'all have it, man. You have the sound and the spirit of it. It's all in there, man. You just got to make sure that you always have the groove of it. It's got to always be in there. It's cool, though. So let's not forget like the little stuff like letter O, the stuff we were talking about in letter O, that phrase where the brass answer it. All of this stuff works better if you know everything that's going on. If you know how you fit in, even if it's just one note at the end of an 8-bar phrase. Also, when the brass don't have the hits, bop, bop, ba, he's giving them to you. You should be listening for that. And sometimes it's good for the rhythm section also to mark that, even though they're not playing the hits, in the 8th, the 9th, and 10th bar of that phrase, bop, bop, ba. It's good just for continuity, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because they come in after a long rest and they have 2 10-bar phrases, 3 10-bar phrases, and then they have to come back and play the bridge. Bop, do, dee, when they play that part. So it will be good. You don't have to do it every time, but it's good to mark it, somewhere in there. Just play the bop, bop, ba, even when they don't play it.
What letter is that at specifically? Usually you switch the chords.
Where is it L?
P, Q, our hits are at the dot.
Y'all have the hits there. This is after that.
Yeah, E to R.
This is before you come in with that bridge, right? P to R, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Q and R, like around there, yeah. Right. They have them in P and then Q and R. So it'd be good to mark that. I hear you doing it though. Or you're playing other rhythm, you're playing the rhythm but playing something else in bar 9 and 10. So it's good to have that there. It just gives the band continuity. And it's easy to get lost in those 10 bars. It's a 10-bar phrase, and we're dead set on having 8-bar phrases because we're used to them in all of American music. The 8-bar phrases is everywhere. So you put 2 more bars on the end of it, and if you're not counting or if you're not really paying attention and engaged in it, then you can just be in Neverland. So it's good. It's good to do that. But overall, it's good. I mean, you just got to make sure, don't ever fall back into bad habits. Like once you realize what something is, once you hear what something is, do it like that the rest of the time you play and build upon that. You know, everything that we talked about, like every single way of playing every tune or everything. And this all translates to every chart you're going to play. So just put that in every chart. You know, always bring out the character of things. So I like to go through all 3 of them, just run them down again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have our vocals, their clarinet.
All right, we don't have. All right, they left. All right. Well, we still do.
We can still run it.
Can you sing, Mr. Hell?
Yes, I will sing.
You do it without them. Yeah.
We can do both.
Oh, I can sing it, sure. And sing it, right. And tap dance. Huh? I mean, we can do that too. I love that solo. That solo, man. Good? We're good? Are we ready? 9? Yeah? Good. All right, Chinoiserie. 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 Chinoiserie.
I know. Sarah.
Chahino? Is that what you said? Kahino. I'm not going to go with that one. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. yeah. Good, Saxons. Good. Don't rush. All right. I feel it's getting better. You know, we have to adjust to the massive sound at the end when it's all voiced out together. That's the only one. I think like the second time of it started to feel a little funny. The first time was really in the pocket, but I guess like the reverb of the whatever the echo or whatever was left over from when you played the last note to when you played the first note kind of got in your way. So we got to make sure that we keep our ears on the drums right there, and that you make sure you keep them honest the whole time. That you don't let, and at the very end, that you don't let it get away from them. Okay? Good. Sounds good, man. I think it's coming along. You know, just really work on that. Just really work on it. It's already starting to come along, but really just work on that. Just making sure that you don't rush those figures, those types of figures. And there's certain ones that give you problems. Other ones, you never even, like Rocks in My Bed, like none of the figures in Rocks in My Bed, you don't rush any of those. You just get right in the pocket and just groove those to the bad health. So just continue doing that. And just other types, man, just make sure that if you start to recognize which types give you problems. And just know, before you even play them, that this is the type of figure that I usually rush. So think about it two or three bars before it. And just say, okay, I'm going to put this one in the pocket. I can hear how it goes. And I'm going to play it like this. You know? Good. Have y'all prepared you got that, what's the fourth one that everybody has to do?
Yeah, we haven't done.
You haven't done that one yet?
No,
Okay.
we're,
What is it? It's
well, We just figure if we get that far, we'll just do one of the.
Just do one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't. It's not. They don't specify one for the. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Last year we came in 14th. We're hoping for a 13th place finish this year.
Oh man, shoot. You never know, man. Y'all sound good.
Never
I mean, this band sounds good, and you have a month until until the thing. You never know, man. It really sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you. That's the one.
Let's take a break, and then we'll get on our next 4-hour section.
Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, man. Thank you all, man. I can't wait to hear you all next month. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, man. Y'all sound great. Really beautiful, man. Cool.
Overtime checks in the mail.
Oh, right.